Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about how we intercrop in the winter time inside a greenhouse in order to keep pests and bugs away from our crops. Before I get started, I want to thank all the new subscribers we got recently, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so and hit that like button. It helps us out. Now, when you're intercropping, you think of planting beneficial plants in order to benefit nutrients between plants, but you can also intercrop to act as a natural pesticide or pest barrier. So our number one go-to is members of the onion family. We like to plant leeks, shallots, and onion. And what we found is we like to use leeks the most because leeks are super easy to grow and they have a small imprint on the ground. So they have a very small space that they require to be able to grow, and they provide a very good pest barrier for mice, rats, chipmunks, gophers, all of the like. And outside the greenhouse, you can use them to prevent deer and rabbits from eating your crops because it masks the smell. It's the sulfur in the onions that actually put off the deer and deter all of the pests and bugs. And it deters slugs, mites, spider mites, and leafy green eating caterpillars and worms that will eat up your entire crop. So these are an all-around superfood and super beneficial for a pest control in your greenhouse, because inside a greenhouse the moisture levels are always high, and you find that slugs will come because most of the time you have wood or wood chips or any type of environment that provides a cover for a slug. They will be there and they will eating all of your crops. I was doing a little research and I found that some people had took leeks or onions or garlic and kind of turned it into a spray to deter those same pests. We use garlic to deter mosquitoes, but I've never heard of spraying onion juice or garlic juice on your plants. I don't know about that. I may have to experiment with that and show the findings. So aside from keeping your pests away, leeks are super easy to grow, super low light. They can grow very quickly, and you can cut and come again. You can come and cut this leek. This one got pulled up and ripped, and it's just going to continue to grow. We are going to transplant all of these throughout our brassicas and legumes and leafy greens like lettuces and spinaches. They are compatible with all of the above. So onions and leeks and shallots will very well benefit all of those plants without robbing them of nutrients or causing issues when they're growing. These leeks have been considered a superfood all the way back through history. They contain a lot of daily nutrients and macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals. They're very high in vitamin A, K, E, C, and B6. They contain high levels of manganese, copper, folate, and iron, which are great minerals for daily consumption. These leeks are very high in flavonoids, which are antioxidizing, and they are considered anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, and anti-cancer fighting properties in these leeks. Now, you can pretty well eat the entire leek all the way up about 3/4 of the leek, and you can basically cut this bottom bulb off and replant it, or just cut it when it's in the ground and it will regrow. Now, the top part of the leek, everybody says don't eat it, but you can use this in like a soup stock. You take the top and just boil it all down, and it has lots of nutrients and minerals, and it adds flavor to your soup stock. Now, I am planting leek seeds and some white onion seeds also throughout this entire greenhouse. The onions we probably won't be able to harvest very much from because we can't cut them and come again like we do with our leeks. The onions are basically something you harvest once as a bulb, but you can cut the bottom of the onion off where the roots are and regrow it. It just takes a lot longer than a leek does. And the health benefits of growing leeks as opposed to growing a lot of onions, it outweighs it. So we just grow a lot of leeks, and we can cut them and just continually sustainably harvest them to have them all winter, and they provide a natural pesticide for all of our leafy greens. So I just wanted to take a look around the greenhouse. I have this little solar panel running 4 of those little obelisk lights, just enough light to be able to see what's going on in here if it's cloudy and dark out, and it's pretty neat looking at nighttime. We've got all of our leeks transplanted, and I'm going to come by and cut and trim all these because you can see they're just flopped over. I transplanted them all in yesterday. We used this little bed here because we did not have a good success rate with our lettuce. So we kind of dug a little swale here and it just trenched out. So we're holding all that water in this little trench, and we catch a lot of water from the ceiling, also just condensation falling, so it kind of all holds in here. So we re-sowed a bunch of Tom's Thumb lettuce in here to get nice little tight bunching heads, and we've got all of our leeks intercropped in there. We are going to re-sow this bed out a little bit. We kind of had a bad success rate with all of the hot temperatures right when we planted this. None of our lettuces wanted to sprout until we got good moisture content in here. It was so hot and dry. Now that the temperatures cooled off, we're having good success. We've got all of our peas, strawberries, rhubarb. We've got some stonehead cabbage planted up in here, a bunch of kales. Those kind of suffered at the hand of the heat we had, so we're gonna probably re-sow some of those. We got some of our purple tat soy planted, a bunch of pak choi, some of our black magic kale we transplanted. We got some wild dandelions over there, and we got some mustard coming up here. And we've got a bunch of lovage and some of our broad-leafed kale, some of our softer leaf kale, not the curly leaf kale, the heirloom kale we have down here. So this was a very important greenhouse growing tip that I wanted to share with everybody going into the winter time here, because you may leave that greenhouse set for a couple days before you come back out to check on it, just like us, and you can find that your whole crop is destroyed by a slug or a mouse or some type of shrew or vole. And if you've got leeks or chives or garlic, onions or shallots, you will find that those pests will be put off and you will not have that problem. We want to put up natural protection through this entire bed. We're going to slowly seed it out and transplant leeks throughout this entire bed, and hopefully be able to have good harvests and eat out of this greenhouse this entire winter.